Bum, 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 bum. Hey Star Wars fans, it's your old friend Dominic Tringali again with another couple of issues from the Star Wars Build the Millennium Falcon model kit by D. Agostini. This is going to be issues number 39 and 40 of the 100 issue build. Each issue comes with some model parts that go together to form a one-for-one scale replica of the model used in the filming of The Empire Strikes Back. And each issue after the first is €10.99, with the first issue being introduced at an introductory price of €3.50, and I get every 25th issue free because of a deal I made with my news agent. So this being issue number 39 and 40, that brings the grand total of my ordeal up to €421.12. Yeah, so it's kind of a lengthy build process, so I'm just going to quickly fly through the articles and just show you what's inside here. So the first article in issue 39 is just a kind of quick description of the VCX 100 freighter, the Ghost, which I believe was from Star Wars Rebels. It's a variant of the YT 100 series, or the VCX 100 is a light freighter by the Corellian Frigate Company, same people who make the Millennium Falcon. But this one was kind of modeled after a B-17 bomber from World War II, as you can probably see, with the nose cone dome, and it has a Twi'lek captain on the show. You know, I'm just getting into Rebels now, so I haven't gotten to too much into this, but it seems like a pretty cool ship. And then some information about the Hoth asteroid belt, explaining, of course, the space slugs, which was always something I kind of like freaked out about. I was like, you know, I'm not an expert on these things, but I was always under the impression that nothing could exist living in the vacuum of space, but apparently these are like silicone-based life forms that could actually live in space. And they were saying that like on in the deep vacuum of space, it allows the slugs to reach 900 meters in size, which makes sense based on what you see in the movie. But like on planets, they would only reach 10 meters in length, and I mean that's quite a bit of difference in size. Then there's this whole section on cargo handling. Like we give two shits about cargo and how cargo's handled on the Millennium Falcon, but there's a freight elevator. And I mean, I guess if you're really into the minutia of the Star Wars universe, it's kind of interesting. And especially if you're like into the role-playing game, or if you were like doing like fan fiction, understanding how people do really day-to-day crap like handling cargo would make sense. And then with issue 40, we have, first of all, I'd like to talk about this. So apparently I have another nose cone, a different nose cone. I don't know why they're giving me another nose cone. This one's different than the first one, apparently. I don't know why. But there's instructions on how to put it together. There must have been some issue with the nose cone quality or something. I mean, I know mine kind of comes apart a bit, but I was going to glue it eventually. But anyway, then we have this article about General Grievous's small fighter, which is a modified Belbulob 22, also known as the Soulless One, kind of named after Grievous himself, because he's a bit of a chicken shit and a bastard. And apparently they used to call it the Cowardly One because he was always like kind of ditching fights when the going got tough. Then we have this article on the wildlife of Utapau, which was the planet. Jesus, how many moons does that thing have? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 6, 9 moons. All right, okay, that's pretty cool. A lot of cool, interesting life on this planet, including that crazy-ass lizard that Obi-Wan rides right before Order 66 takes effect. Here's some concept art of it that was done for Revenge of the Sith. Kind of funny. Pterodactyl kind of looking guys. And then we have this Combat Techniques 2 dogfighting article talking about how you effectively do some dogfighting. If anyone here is a fan of the Star Wars Starfighter game, what the hell is it called? Just X-Wing. It's just called X-Wing. Small collectible model game. It's a lot of fun, and I wanted to read this and kind of see if there's anything I could glean from it regarding tactics or good, what works, and see if the game kind of works in that regard. Just talking about feint and backstab attacks and stuff like that, and how to maneuver. So nothing really major there. So anyway, let me go ahead and grab parts bags 39 and part bag 40, and we can go ahead and finish up with the boarding ramp that I started in the issue 38 video. Great. So here we have parts bag 39 and 40 respectively. I'm going to tear open bag 39 and show you what I found inside. Actually, I'll just go ahead and tear both bags open because all of the stuff we're going to use, well, not all of it, but we'll need parts from both bags in order to complete the things we started in the last issue. So I'll go ahead and tear those open and show you what parts come in bags 39 and bags 40. Bag 39, just so you can differentiate, is this motor piece, and it looks like some pins down below. Nothing much there. And then, like I said, that nose cone replacement comes in here. I just really don't know why the hell they're giving me another nose cone. But anyway, so let me tear it open and show you what's inside. Alright, so here's everything that was in parts bags 39 and 40. So the biggest piece, of course, is this whole piece. I will put that with all the other whole pieces that I've gathered so far. I've been assured that eventually we will be putting all these whole pieces in place. Yeah. So the other next biggest thing is this motor that's actually going to operate to open and close the boarding hatch. It comes in this sealed case so it doesn't get damaged. I like that. Next biggest thing is this replacement nose cone. It looks like, though, that I'll have to use the collar from the other one in order to make this one work. So again, I for the life of me don't know what the hell's going on with this. Revised cockpit canopy. That's what they're calling this. Yeah, what the hell's up with that? I would love to know what people have to say about that one who are working on this. The next bag is a bunch of clear plastic viewing glazed windows that go into this thing, so to give it kind of that more polished, actual sealed environment kind of look. Then I have this sprue, which I will not need, and it's already coming loose off the bracket. Okay, so this I'm going to keep sealed because I won't need this until I start assembling the chair for the actual gun controls, the turret controls. So that's just going to get put to the side as well. And then I got a number of small bags here. It looks like some gold screws for something. Some of these hole plating screws that I'll be needing probably some of those today, but I'll probably use a smaller bag. That's a rather large bag. Some black screws for framing and other purposes. These two pins, which I'm not quite sure what the hell those are going to be for, but I'm sure I'll find out at some point. Let me try to zoom in. You got to keep them in the bag for now because otherwise I will just lose these. And then 3 2-pin connectors, so I'll actually be able to attach that last piece of framing to the hole, the lower hole that I've put together so far, which is right over here. I was hoping there'd be 4 in here because, as I mentioned in a previous issue, I'm using a 4-pin connector in place of a 2-pin connector, and because I think I got shortchanged or they sent me the wrong piece. To be honest with you, I don't know, but it kind of sucks. But whatever, I'll digress. I'll just stick with that and figure it out at a later date what the hell to do about that. I think I'm just going to keep it the way it is unless it becomes an issue. I'll just go with that. So more than anything for stage 39 in the assembly, I'm going to need parts from issue 38. Let me see if I can pull zoom on this one. This small bag of these really delicate pins, which I'm praying to God I don't lose any. This bag of this sprue bag right here, these hydraulic arms, these pieces right here, and these piston arms. So the first step has me taking one of the short arms actuators and putting a pin through it. So I'll go ahead and start doing that, and if you look at the instructions, it's asking me to take the pin, one of these arms, and the short actuator arm, and kind of feeding them together and forming them into one. So I'll go ahead and do that and show you what it looks like when I get it done. Great. So steps 1 through 9 were pretty straightforward. I'm just a little concerned about which one of these is the left, which one's the right. The instruction is just not very clear. I wish they were just a little bit more clear about which one's the left, which one's the right, so I'll have to try to figure that one out later on. So let's go ahead and start getting to the fitting of the pivoting points. So this will require me to get my modeling knife to trim out these 4 pieces right here, you see, and slowly but carefully install the heads that you see in this bag into each one. So pray for me, guys, and hope that this works out. In what most definitely will be my most delicate step that I've done so far, I need to take these pins, one pin, and stick it inside this hydraulic arm right here, and then attach one of these ram pivots. God, pray for me that this is going to work, guys, and I'm not going to lose one of these. So when I get one done, I'll let you know how it went. Alright, great. Believe it or not, that was not too difficult. It's now complete in place. So there we go. That wasn't so bad. So I got to repeat that step 3 times and not lose any of these little pins in the process. So let me try to do that, and I'll show you what it looks like when I have all 4 with the ram pivot in place. Great. I guess so far so good. I got the ram pivot pins into the ram pivots to attach to the inner hydraulic actuators and the outer hydraulic actuator cylinders. So I don't really see any reason why you can't, if you're really careful, you can't put a little glue on the outside to just kind of pull this all together and keep it in place. If you're really careful and you got to be really super careful because you don't want to get any glue down into the actual pivot, because then it's not going to pivot. But I don't really see any reason why you can't, other than they probably don't want you to screw it up. That's why they didn't include it in the instructions. So I'll move to the next step and show you what it looks like when I'm all done with that. So the next step in the instruction was to attach this outer hull plating with the ramp actually to the framing. So I've already done that, and as you can see, it opens as so. I went ahead and lined up the lugs into the various spots on here, so you can see all these spots right here and right here. So I'm going to go ahead and put the 8 screws in. I'm hesitant to go any further without this piece right here, but I'm just going to go with it and see what happens. But I'm going to put these 8 pins in the 8 screws in right here, and then move on to the actual installation of the motor. So cross your fingers, hope this works out well for me. Alright, so I went ahead and attached screws into all those different spots. You can see one here, there's a couple more, 8 in all, but now this piece of hull is actually attached to the frame. As you can see, it has that lifting action. So now working on the motor, I'm going to take this out of the package, and I'm going to attach this little foot pad here to the, I believe, this part of the actual motor, yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, so let's go ahead and get that done, and I'll take some video of my progress as I get along. Alright, so I'm going to take the motor, and I'm going to take this pad right here, which will actually go on the ramp. I'm going to attach it right here, and I'm going to use a pin like you see here to actually attach the 2 pieces together so they keep pivoting. So the next step it looks difficult, but I'm going to put a little bit of glue at the bottom of this pad right here, and then I'm going to try to fit it into that hole you see right there. Let me see if I can use my screwdriver. I'm going to fit it on that pad spot right there. Okay, so after test fitting everything and careful consideration, what I finally came up with, and I couldn't read it anywhere in the instructions, was that I should just remove the 2-pin connectors from right here. Probably could put that one back actually. The one that was over here and that 4-pin that I was using in the back, I removed that. And it's just, I'm using the actual motor to hold the frame together anyway. So there's just no real reason why that needed to be there. And I can't really get a good shot of it, but now, I don't know, I can't really get a shot, maybe from here. So, still not a very good shot. But you can see there's this white foot pad that's actually attached to that this arm that actuates down through the motor to push open the ramp. Now, since that's all glued into place and the motor isn't attached to any power, it's closed. The ramp's not opening anymore. So as before, it was like dropping, but now it won't do that anymore. So that's done. The next step is to actually fix the hydraulic actuators to these spots here. So this is where the tricky part comes in, making sure that I get the right ones in the right place. So cross my fingers and let's hope that this works out. Alright, let me show you what it looks like when I'm all finished. So the diagram in the instruction manuals are pretty straightforward, and so I'm 99% sure that I have the right actuator in the right place. So you put a couple drops of glue in and they go into these spots right here. You can see them right there. Right there. And then you go ahead and you pull down the long white piece here that you see, and you just screw them in. Next, I'm going to do the smaller one for here, and then repeat the process on their side with the right actuators. So I'm going to go ahead and do those, all 3 of those, and then show you what the final product looks like, and that will be the end of issue 39. And the last step is just going to be attaching those 2-pin connectors on this side, and then attaching it to the hole and having one full final product. Great, let's do that. Well, there she is, all finished. There's a lot of steps involved in this, but you know, it's all finished now. So this is ready to be actually attached to the frame, which I have over there. So the next step is just to put, according to issue 40, the 2-pin connectors here, here, and here, and then we'll attach everything and have it all synced up. So let's go ahead and start that up and show you what it looks like. The reason I did 2 issues with this video, on top of trying to catch up with the backlog of issues that I now have and wanting to, you know, put this together quickly, or at least get it done eventually, is that step 40, stage 40, is super small. I mean, it's like if I did this as a video on itself, I would be disappointed. But all it is putting a 2-pin adapter here, here, and here, and then attaching it to the frame over there. Alright, so at the end of stage 40, this is what it looks like. I put the 12 screws in. The frame is in one whole conducive piece. Still waiting to actually put the plating onto the damn thing, so it looks something like the Millennium Falcon and less like some metal chicken cage. You know, this step right here was very long-winded, but when it's all said and done, being able to open and close the boarding ramp is just going to be amazing, I imagine. I got just wires poking out of everywhere. It's sitting on its jig. It's all together. Looks great. So let's talk about issue number 41 and what the next stage is going to be. Alright, so that completes issue number 40. Issue 41, I'm going to be taking the sprue I got from issue 40 to make the seat, and I'm going to make the pod that actually is the turret controls. And if time allows, I'm going to go ahead and try to assemble that cockpit window variant cone. I don't really know what's up with that. Question of the day is, what do you think of General Grievous? Is he just a punk ass? Was he a stupid villain? Ultimately, I kind of find him to be okay. He's not my favorite. I actually place him behind Darth Maul in cool factor. Anyway, just let me hear your thoughts down below as a comment. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button, and if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and check out the rest of the other issues that I've done so far. As always, guys, may the Force be with you.